Good morning. Jay here, Run Talks. My legs are a little bit stiff from Snowdon at the weekend, so I'm taking it easy today. So I want to talk to you today about one of the most common complaints I hear from business owners and entrepreneurs, and that is there's never enough time. There's never enough time, or I really just don't know what to focus on, where to prioritize my time, what tasks to do. And so this comes with a certain amount of feelings, right? So what can often happen is if you constantly feel like there is never enough time, it can often leave you feeling stressed, under pressure. It can feel like it's out of control, and you might be feeling a little overwhelmed. And like I said, this is one of the biggest complaints I hear of business owners and entrepreneurs. And I just want to be really real with you here. You are always going to be busy. You're smart enough and intelligent enough to know as a business owner that there's always going to be more things that need to be taken care of as you grow, as you evolve, as you come up with new ideas. There's always going to be more to do. That is the truth. It really is, and that's not going away anywhere. Someone once said that the difference between a job and a business is the prison cell you choose. You get to choose how you run your business, you get to choose the hours that you work, you get to choose who you work with, what you sell, and you choose that. Nobody else. Whereas a job, you've got someone else making the rules. You've got someone else telling you what wallpaper should be in the prison cell and how long you should stay in a prison cell. But in a business, it might not always feel like it, but you're the person in control. And so with that, we have to understand that while there is always going to be more to do, we have to understand that we can ultimately influence and do something about that. We can be the cause of time rather than at the effect of time. Because if I'm saying that I'm so busy and there's never enough time, if we consider cause and effect, I am the cause of creating value for you right now. And hopefully you're at the effect of receiving value in what I share. In the same way in your business, you can be the cause of time, results, behaviors, and not at the effect of everything external to you. You're the person in the driving seat. So, time, what the hell do we do about it? Well, I think the first thing you've got to ask yourself is, what's the reason there's never enough time for me? What's the reason there's never enough time for me? Is it because I'm juggling many plates? I'm trying to do too much? Is it because you have a real problem with saying no, N-O? Is it because you lack some kind of boundaries? Is it because you are reactive? And for example, you may have your mobile phone turned on and it has notifications, and someone sends you a message on Facebook and you're like, reactive. You're like, whoa, squirrel. And there's something new, or you have an idea, a thought in your mind, and that distracts you. So you struggle to be able to focus. Or is it because you actually don't know what you're doing in the week, i.e. you haven't organized your time, you don't know what you're going to be doing each day, so there's no structure. And there's a universal law. And someone tell me the name of it in the comments, because I can never remember it. The task always expands to the timeline you give it. And if you don't have a plan, as the saying goes, fail to plan, plan to fail. What's going to happen is, as life comes at you, which it inevitably will, as new work, customers, clients come at you, or your team come at you with problems, you're going to be reactive. And it's a bit like someone walking a tightrope. One minute you feel like you're under control, you're focused, you're walking the line. But next minute you're fighting for your life. A gust of wind comes along and blows you off course. You've got your armbands on, trying to stay afloat, trying to deal with this time issue, but you're just putting out fires. You're just like reactive. And ultimately, this leads to a lack of productivity. It leads to you being a busy fool. It leads to you not being effective in your business. Because think about it, and you tell me if I'm way off here. If I have this feeling that there's never enough time, that creates a feeling of stress, frustration, overwhelm. If I'm in this place, or you're in this place, how do you think you're going to perform? How do you think you're going to perform as a business entrepreneur? Are you going to be resourceful? Are you going to be fun? Are you going to be creative? Or are you going to be like limiting yourself and be like, shit, I need to just move and I'm very rigid in my approach? You tell me. Well, I know the answer, but I wanted you to tell me it. When we're under stress, when we're frustrated, when we're overwhelmed, we're not effective. So we have to get to the bottom of it. We have to get to the bottom of what's the reason there's never enough time. And you think about the idea of never enough, that is a lack mindset. That's a lack mindset. You assume that there isn't enough. But the truth is, it isn't that there isn't enough. It's simply a case the way you manage yourself, the way you lead yourself day to day is influencing how you behave and how you actually feel in relation to time, i.e. there's never enough time. So what the hell do we do about it? Well, the first thing we need to do is identify what's the reason there's never enough time for me. We need to get clear on the behaviours that are leading to us feeling this way. The second thing we need to ask ourselves is, what's the payoff? Because here's the thing. Every behaviour is motivated by a positive intent for the person taking the behaviour. I know Dean Lynn, Dean's one of my clients, he's reciting this. Every behaviour is motivated by positive intent for the person taking the behaviour. So there's some kind of payoff. Now, if you're the person that struggles to say no, is the reason that you struggle to say no because you want to please people, you want to be a people pleaser? Is the reason that you don't say no because there's some kind of fear that if you say no, people might reject you, or people might go to someone else and get business from them? Is the reason that you do the thing you do because you want to avoid something? You want to avoid the discomfort, so the fear is leading you to avoidance. Or is there something that's leading you to feel like you need to feel safe? So there's always some kind of payoff, so get clear on those. That's kind of the first step, and I recommend diving deep with a coach or someone that you trust to mentor to actually get deeper on the root cause of that, because that really is what comes up from childhood, our life experiences, and that's what's really driving, influencing those behaviours. But I want to give you something really tangible that if you don't want to go deep, because I get it, not everybody does, I'm going to share with you, I recommend you do. However, I want to give you something more tangible because you might not be ready for that right now. The third thing you really need to do is get clear on what's important to you. What's important to you? Because so many people I meet have no idea what their values are, what's important to them in their life, in their business, what's important to their health. Now, if I was to ask you, you might say, okay, well, freedom's important. Okay, what is freedom to you? Because it's going to be different to me. What else is important to you? Fulfillment. Okay, what does that feel like, looks like, sound like to you? We must get clarity on what are our values. And one of the things I'll do after this video is I'll drop a link in the comments so you can go and do a values exercise, so you can start to understand what is important to you in terms of your values, and then put it in a specific order, because there's a specific order that's important to you. So we get clear on our values. The next thing we need to do is we need to review our goals. If you even have goals, right? This would be a good time to maybe take your new set of values as like a template and use it to create goals and a vision for yourself and your business that actually aligns with what's most important to you. Because here's the thing, if you don't do this, you're gonna arrive at the destination and you're gonna feel empty. You're gonna be like, is this all there is? Have you ever had one of those experiences? It's partly because the goal and the thing that you thought was important, the thing that you thought was gonna give you that feeling, it wasn't necessarily aligned with your values, okay? And then the final step is really one of the simplest things you can do is get organized. There's a tool called the Eisenhower Matrix. I recommend you go on Google, type in Eisenhower Matrix. And that is split up into 4 segments. Important, urgent, important, not urgent, not important, not urgent, and not important, urgent. Now I'll give you the clue here. The grid, the part of the set grid you want to be focusing on, because it's based on your long-term goals, and by focusing on those particular tasks, it's going to mean a lot of the other tasks become less important. You need to focus on important, not urgent. Because right now, if you are coming from a place of being reactive, you're focusing on urgent, important. Everything's urgent, everything's important. And your life is just like, I just do not know where to focus. Over here, over here, over here. And so you go nowhere. So you're ineffective in your performance. So that's really a conversation around time. And I'd love to hear from you guys. And this is important, like get you in the comments, because I need to understand what you're taking from this, what's really hitting home for you. Go ahead and put it in the comments for me. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? What's connecting with you? Is there something in relation to time? Is there part of what I said that you're like, phew, that's absolute gold? Just go ahead, pop it in the comments for me so I can better understand and better deliver the value that you want to hear from me through these videos, instead of me just going, what do I think they want? I want to understand you and listen to you, and then use that as a way to drive forward. So for me, as always, just remember, even when your legs are killing you after walking up a mountain, even when you don't feel like it, just show up. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.